I am so grateful for this phone holder. As I told you, I had some that you buy, with at phone stores and things, but they were so strong. I could not open them, stretch that place to put the phone in. Barbara Pickens' daughter sent me this. Barbara sent it, but her daughter is the agent for them. It's pink, and it is plugged into a, what do you call it? I never. It's terrible to have the language problem that we seniors have for all this UV stuff. Anyway, it allows me to use my hands and for you to see that they're not the same color as my lipstick today. But I wanted to tell you that I went to Five Below for the first time in my life, I think. There's one in Collierville and there's one up on Riverdale and I don't know where else. But my therapist at the place told me to get one of these balls, and this is the exercising. You put it between your knees and push for like 5 seconds and then release. And she had me do that 30 times. And I said, where can I get one of those balls? And she said, Five Below. They have a whole bin full of them. And so I bought one so that while I'm watching TV, I can do that at home. I don't have to just do it at therapy. And it is strengthening the muscles above my right knee, which is the reason I'm limping a bit, even with the cane. And that is the muscle on the right side where the hip was replaced have not developed as much as they should. Anyway, I also found at Five Below this Clean Freak, which is a dry shampoo, and I learned something on Facebook. A lady was trying to get the yellow out of her hair and make it look more white or more platinum blonde. And she said every time I use dry shampoo, it lightens it a little bit. And she said it doesn't matter what brand I've used, it still works. And it does a good bit of stuff out of there. And I think that's something you might need to know. But you can buy dry shampoo or Renew shampoo, or it's called various things. This one's called Clean Freak. But I have several other brands, and they all seem to do the same thing. If your hair gets oily, or if you feel like it's dirty and it needs refreshing, you can spray it in there and brush it out, and it's you don't even have to brush it out, just leave it. Anyway, that proved to be true. There's some yellow in my hair that I prefer to be white, and when I do that, it works. Also, at Dollar Store, I found this little thing. It's called jelly. It's $1.25, and there you see advertised all the time stuff that does this. But this, you can just put some on your cheeks and some on your lips and go. It's you don't have to be all made up all the time, and I'm not, believe it or not. But I keep this in my car, and it gets a little warm, which makes it spread actually better. But you have to be careful. Don't turn it over; it might all spill out. But it is good for just brightening up your face a bit if you have just eaten and all that, and $1.25. And I am amazed at the things that we buy that cost a fortune, that don't have to cost a fortune, at Dollar Store and Five Below, and I'm sure some other places. There's all kinds of eyeshadow, makeup. I buy a lot of it there because it works. To me, it works the same thing. I'm not a person who goes to a job at 9 in the morning and stays till 5. Those people need makeup that, is lasting and doesn't change color during the day and stuff like that. I don't need that. I'm right here. I can go wash my face and start all over anytime I want to. And, excuse me. That is not a COVID cough. COVID cough. I am over COVID, and I am so, so grateful. The other day I went to lunch at Bellevue in a big Sunday school room with the ladies in my small group Bible study. We go for an hour for a Bible study, and then we go to the main fellowship hall, and there is music, and Donna Gaines or Stockdale. Can't say her first name. Anyway, she's wonderful. They're both wonderful. They will give a further study in whatever we're studying that semester. And I think it's Genesis this coming semester. Anyway, that starts in September. And but at that luncheon, I was surprised to see the chairs were not set up to face the platform like they normally are. There were round tables and like 6 people at each table, tablecloths, beautiful sunflower placemats. Uh, you know, uh, it was a fun decoration, and 2 full church tables full of food. It was a wonderful situation, and tea and coffee and all water, all that. And Linda Gregory's was in charge, and is the teacher normally, but Gail Foster was the teacher that day, or the speaker that day. But Linda's grandson came with her, and he is college age, just now entered Union, and he was so delightful. He came around to the tables and asked if people needed anything, and I said, "Did you set up these tables?" He said, "No, ma'am, but the church did." But she told me this morning when I called her that he helped her with the tablecloths and the placemats and all that. And then later in the meal, he came around and asked if there was anything he could get for us. And of course, he did that for everybody, not just old ladies with a cane. He did that for everybody. And I thought, that boy has been well trained, or somebody's been a great example to him. And I called her, Linda, this morning to tell her that I was just so impressed with him and with the fact that everything was done so beautifully. And, somebody has to do that. You can't just decide you're going to do something and show up and expect that it's going to happen. Somebody has to tell people, we're all going to bring food. Somebody has to set the table, and somebody has to set up the tables for the food and get the food out of the containers and set it up and all that. And I was just amazed at how beautifully all that worked, and how Linda took charge and got all that done. And there are people who are very capable of stuff like that. No, what is the word? I'm not trying to say anything bad about Linda. I can't say the word, but it doesn't take a genius to do to do that. It takes somebody that's willing, and that will go the second and third mile and get it done. Will take their grandson up there early and fix everything. It's amazing the number of people who are capable of doing things that don't require a college degree or a whole lot of experience. They just don't want to do it. They don't do it. And I'm so grateful that every friend I have, it seems that I'm drawn to doers and see people who are willing to serve and want to serve. And it's just a blessing to me to have people like that in my life. It's awesome. You know, other day, one of the people that was at the tea, that gave me the tea, was a Lily Miner. And she and I had never really gotten to sit around and talk, together. We've been in groups, but, you got to sit next to somebody. You don't talk across a big table. And I learned that she's teaching English to foreign students, and she is actually going to their homes. That's not required. She's going to their homes and meeting their families. Isn't that amazing? Now that's a real act of service. That's somebody that's going the second and third mile. And I am so impressed with people that do that. It's just amazing to me that that God provides the strength and the energy and the blessing for people that do that. And as you get older day by day, and you are going to get older day by day, you will find that that the act of service, even a small little act of service, will be a blessing to the other person and above all to you, and a blessing to God. God wants us to do, it's just, you got children. And when your children do good, when they're doing something to bless somebody, doesn't it make you feel wonderful? God's got that too. When he looks down at his children and they're doing something good and they're blessing people, it blesses him. And he'll bless you back. God bless you today.